Hello everyone, welcome back to DCS World and the Fear the Bones campaign for the F-14, where we're now on to Mission 9, Killer Instinct. Now I did actually have to repeat this mission a few times, it was really quite tricky, but for now let's let the in-game briefing handle the intro.
Gentlemen, this morning we kicked the Hornet's Nest and we kicked it hard. The carrier Baku is still burning, so bravo Zulu to you all. Now we expect the Soviets to retaliate, so we're sending up a division of F-14s to cap the coastline between Sochi and Novorossiysk at Angels 2-1. Pontiac 1-1, Jaws and Jester, Pontiac 1-2, Elvis and Glory. Pontiac 1-3, Caveman and Grip, and Pontiac 1-4 will be Ghost and Pirate. You'll be relieved at 1600 by 4 Tomcats from VF-41. ROE is warning red, weapons free, so you're cleared to engage anything that comes your way. Now I have some bad news and some good news. Bad news first. Our C-2 Greyhound carrying AIM-54 Phoenix missiles was shot at this morning and had RTB. So you guys are going up with Sparrows only. Now we're expecting another COD with Phoenixes at 1500, call sign Springfield. Springfield will remain on deck in Turkey until you arrive on station, then head out to the boat. Now the good news. USS Ranger entered the Black Sea through the Strait of Bosphorus this morning at 0830, so we're going to have some reinforcements shortly. Now grab your gear, get to the roof, and start them up. Dismissed.
Wizard, Pontiac 1 flight airborne with 4 by F-14 checking in as frag. What do you have for us? Pontiac 1 flight. Wizard, we have unit bulls 180 for 110. Picture, 2 groups. First group, 4 ship taking off from their top. 085 for 95. Angels 2, they appear to be heading west. Second group, Stapleton, bull 088 for 170. Mainstay, Angels 25, Colt. Proceed to waypoint 1, Angels 21. Monitor frequency for updates. Pontiac 1 copies all, pushing to waypoint 1, Angels 21.
Friendlies, 11 o'clock, 6 miles.
Take it seriously after the strike on the Tickney this morning. I bet some common generals got their asses kicked today, so they finally sent out their AWACS. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen their faces back in Moscow when they were told about Baku. Wizard, Springfield 1. We're holding just off the Turkish coastline at Angels 12, standing by for instructions. Springfield, Wizard, hold your position until further notice. We have 4 Tomcats en route to the patrol area. Springfield 1, copies on. Pontiac 1-4 here. Guys, I still don't get it. Why would the Russians declare war on us? I mean, there were rumors about the Soviet Union disintegrating, slowly collapsing. Now here we are at war with them. Well, you know what rats do when they get cornered? They bite. I'm guessing Gorbachev's power is getting weaker and weaker, and he saw this as an opportunity to appear strong. Also, a common enemy always unites people. Now the Ruskies are all behind him, clapping and cheering. Yeah, that makes sense, Caveman. How far will it go? People are dying on both sides already. I just hope it won't turn into a nuclear war. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Let's hope Gorbachev wouldn't take that risk. Right now he's just barking and too afraid to bite. Y'all are just a bunch of chickens. I'd nuke the hell out of them before they get to push the button. That dog won't hunt. Yeah, thank God you're sitting in a Tomcat and not in the White House, Elvis. God save America from you SOB.
And so we fly on, don't even make it to the first waypoint before we get this call.
Pontiac, this is Wizard. The bandits are turning hot. Bra 010 for 90 at Angels 15. Pontiac 1 Roger, turning 010 to intercept.
We find them pretty quickly, but at quite a range, so we're just closing for a bit.
Bandit, 010, 72 miles.
Pontiac 1, Wizard. Bandits now at 60 miles. You are cleared to engage. 1 leaving Charlie. We have a little problem here. Be advised our radar is Tango uniform, but apparently we still have radio contact.
Target, 47 miles.
We got it under control. Hit MiG-21s.
Heads up, Nails, 12 o'clock.
But here they begin to turn away.
Target, 41 miles. I lost lock.
Looks like some are turning cold. What? They're turning around. Wizard Pontiac 1 flight MiGs are turning cold, pressing. Pontiac 1, Wizard, copy that. Shit, chicken shit Ruskies.
And that begins quite a long chase.
This Pontiac won't
Target, 44 miles.
bad feeling about this. When was the last time you had a good feeling about anything, Ghost? At that whorehouse in Naples 3 weeks ago.
I lost lock.
Come on, let's keep pushing. Pontiac 1, feet dry. Watch out, they're doing this trip towards that SA-10.
Nah, I can't do that.
Fish beds are turning hot. Here we go again.
Now I learned my lesson from the first few attempts. As soon as the fish beds turn hot, I turn around to put distance between me and the SA-10s.
Heads up, Nails, 5 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Shit! I've got spike, 8 o'clock. MiG-29. A trap. Fuck! I knew they were up to something.
And so there we can see the 29s on RWR. They're actually coming from behind where we originally were. I didn't really have problems with them on my first attempts. It was always the SA-10 site just absolutely destroyed the entire wing there. So I think turning away, getting away from the fish beds is really, getting away from the SA-10s is really the key there. Follow the fish beds for as long as it takes to get them to turn,
I can't do that.
and then turn away.
11 o'clock.
So I go in, try to get a lock on the enemies, see them on the data link, but they are right against the ground.
Can do that.
So not able to get a lock there. Heading towards the 29 since they're the bigger threat. Quite happy just to leave the fish beds alone for now.
Not able.
I do force the nose down there a little too heavily and I do get a wing stall alarm, but everything's fine. Do start to get various radar tones here though. Till my entire formation start engaging. Was keeping them with me for that first little bit, so they did separate from the 29s, from the SA-10s. See, one of my wingmen's already fired there, which does give me a hint as to where the enemy are.
Here we go again.
There is a missile launch coming back at him. One goes down, one of the 29s goes down there. Still one more.
The bandit is down.
And there we go, that is all the fulcrums down. I think they just took off as part of that ambush, so they're really low level.
Passing 430.
Waypoint 2 at Angels 2-1. Another Hawkeye was launched 5 minutes ago.
400.
Take over from us. Break. Springfield 1, you are cleared direct to Mother. Vector 047 for 100.
So now, technically the mission tells us that we're clear to return to our waypoint. The problem being that we are still engaged by the 21s, it doesn't have a trigger based on the 21s. So here I'm trying to get lock on things up ahead. It does pop in to ask me if I want to continue. I'm absolutely fine with weapons and fuel, so continue the mission. There's a very, very brief little open engagement there. One of the fish beds goes down. Just try and drag out a little bit, trying to get further away from the SA-10 site and turn back in. There's unfortunately the SA-10 site that's giving the RWR warning there, so that does continue throughout the rest of the fight. Sorry for the rather loud beeping. So, trying to get a SAM does launch here, and unfortunately, although I don't see it, looking on the endgame stats, one of my wing does get hit by the SAM there. Can maybe just make out the little white plume ahead, probably gets eaten by YouTube compression. There's a little white plume with the SAM going up. Do get lock on the target temporarily, but only moments before it gets splashed. So there we go, those are all enemy targets down, and we now turn away and head back to waypoint 2. That's not all there was on this mission, there's a tiny little bit left as we get call out here. So we turn to intercept, but before we can get there... So yeah, that was a mission, rather a strange one in that I failed it a couple of times before, and then the time that I actually worked out well, I didn't even get a shot off. Really was those SA-10 sites that were the big danger. As long as you kept away from them, everything went really, really smoothly. All in all, we shot down 2 MiG-29s and 2 21s, all for the loss of 1 F-14. The F-14 was Ghost's one, he went down to an SA-10. Yeah, pretty fun mission, challenging mission, one that took me a bit, but one that I really enjoyed, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.